Unfortunately, Familia, I have some very bad news to bring to you today. Around 5 days ago, I tweeted out, if Spellboost isn't emergency nerfed by Thursday next week, I'll be very surprised. Well, this was a total hunch, just a shot in the dark. And guess what? It is now Thursday, and Shadowverse, the official Shadowverse Twitter, has tweeted out, the following cards will be changed. They announced an official balance patch. Now, you might be asking, why is this bad news? Well, there are people out there who, incorrectly, I might add, believe that I have some kind of insider information, which I don't. And, this really does not help my case. Unfortunately. So all I have to say is please stop going into my replies and my DMs asking me for stuff. I don't know. Of course, there's also good news, which is twofold. The first of which being I'm some kind of Nostradamus who can predict events in the future with stunning clarity. My next prediction will be that I'll reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of February. Help out. Subscribe button below, please. Businessman. But of course, the other good news is that we are getting a balance update and Spellboost will no longer be ruling the meta like it has been for the past week of the set's launch. Let's take a look at what the actual changes are. So Adherent of Elimination, a silver cost card that could easily become like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 attack with all the zero cost cards in Spellboost right now, will no longer have Storm, but rather Rush, which obviously means it can't hit the enemy leader on the turn it's played anymore. This is a huge change. It effectively completely kills the card. Some people were thinking, would it be Adherent that got nerfed, or Chakram, or Semael? I was always thinking that it would be Adherent. It's a silver from a set that's almost rotating, and it's also the most problematic card in the deck, given the fact that it's such cheap, immense amount of burst damage. Yeah, turning it into a Rush makes it utterly worthless. That variant of Spellboost is now totally dead with this change, which I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about. My only regret, really, is that I wasn't able to get a video on this build before this announcement was made. Maybe if I do it now, I can get one out super fast. But yeah, the deck is gone. Another change that was made is that Greater Will is now no longer able to target the enemy leader. It can only target enemy followers, which is a huge change for more reasons than you may think at first glance. Obviously, this means that leader effects are stronger indirectly. Stuff like Bellerophon will now no longer have a counterplay in Greater Will, which I'm not entirely happy about. I think the change, though, mostly was made so that Rune and other decks in general couldn't just use Greater Will as a cheap cycle. Now there has to be an enemy follower on the board for you to play Greater Will, I assume. So that means, turn 2, Rune can't just play this on your face to draw a card and spell boost. Is this change good? I'm of two minds about it. I understand that it just being generic cycle could be frustrating, but making leader effects more uncounterable than they already are is a little sus. I don't like that we're getting counterplay options taken away from us. Obviously, this is a nerf to Spellboost as well in a way, because Spellboost runs 3 of Greater Will every time. In fact, most Rune decks do now, including Chess, and including, not Sephi, but, Seven Forces, of course. They're nerfing my boy Seven Forces for no good reason. But no, yeah, I'm not sure I like the removal of counterplay from leader effects when they're already so slim in terms of choices in order to play against leader effects in the first place, right? There's no way to remove leader effects. You just have to cop it, essentially. And Greater Will was like the one way you could stop yourself from getting hit in the face by Bellerophon sometimes, It's not, like, super relevant these days because Heal Haven isn't, like, rampant right now. But, yeah, in principle, I'm not sure I like this change. I get why they did it, though. Maybe they could have hit something else, honestly. This seems kind of sad. Finally, it's not just nerfs in this balance update. They're also buffing Annihilating Onslaught, the token spell that you get out of Ignideus. Now, it is technically weaker on its base form because before it was give -6 to an enemy follower you could choose. Now it's random. Could still be nice against like maybe ambush, perhaps. So not necessarily a strict downgrade, but in most cases it is. But the huge buff is that it's no longer enhance 10, it's enhance 9. And your leader has the effect at the start of your next turn, deal 20 damage to the enemy leader. This is a little sad that they're introducing this update right alongside the Greater Will nerf, so now Greater Will can't even counter the Ignideus anymore. Maybe that was the point, but I don't know if I agree with that. Like, do we want like Ignideus being the main guaranteed kill con? I don't know. Yeah, removing the counterplay just to buff directly a 20 damage leader effect. It's a bit explicit, I think. I will say though, perhaps Evo Forest, Control Forest I mean, does need the help. That deck has effectively been completely supplanted by Wimael Hozumi combo, since the removal of Jupiter effectively destroys any survivability that Evo Forest, Control Forest used to have. Now they have a concrete win condition other than just Bahamut to work towards, control the board, and then Annihilating Onslaught. Can they even survive until then, though? I don't know. Again, the loss of Jupiter is very sad. All you have now is Benevolent Elf, really. But I will say, hey, good for you. Now Greater Will doesn't counter you. Good job, Ignideus. I hope you're happy. I don't know about this, man. I don't think this really addresses the main problems with Control Force as an archetype. It just gives them an easier to proc win con, which is nice, but seems kind of random the way they did that with Greater Will, just to push leader effects more, which again, like I said, I'm not entirely sure I agree with. But you know, I'm very happy with the Adherent of Elimination nerf for sure. We all sort of saw this coming. My prediction was either it would become Rush or it would become 5 play points, and Rush was the one that they went with. So what are we thinking is going to happen to Spellboost post-patch? Will it go away? I actually don't think so. I think Spellboost is probably still going to be in the meta, but definitely not as prevalent as it used to be. I was talking with Kyo, a competitive Shadowverse player from Team Mana Surge, about this a few days ago. We were discussing the build where you just run Kuon, the Celestial Shikigami boosts your other Kuons, and importantly your Simael, and the Noble Shikigami plus Simael will then be your win condition. I think that's probably going to be the way Spell Boost goes next, and it will probably be playable. Of course, we'll have to see, but it'll definitely be way less toxic than this guy right here. Anyway, that's it for this video. Like the video if you did. Don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Shadowverse content in the very near future. And let me know what you think of these balance updates in the comments down below. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree? What do you think should have been hit or not hit or buffed even? I think that maybe leaving Chakram up could be a mistake, but we'll have to see. But yeah, overall, I am okay with this change. It took them quite a while, though, to do it, which I guess is also due to, like, I'm just speculating here, but potentially the December holidays, so it took them a little bit longer than maybe they could have been able to act because of, you know, holidays and stuff. You know, I can't begrudge them that, obviously. But yes, I'm glad that change is finally happening. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.